Hello guys, welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to a little bit more Snowrunner. Today I'm going to be doing a little bit more hauling. Need to get some fuel to start the power plant. But firstly I'd like to thank all the new subscribers. I really appreciate the support. And yeah, just watch this space. There'll be plenty more videos to come. And obviously if you guys have any suggestions or some things that you would like to see, then don't be afraid to drop it down in the comments section below. I really like to hear your guys' opinions, and yeah, I think without further ado, we'll just get stuck in. Just start this old beast up. I find it so satisfying at the beginning, the plumes of smoke. You just can't beat it. But no, it's going to be a chilled, relaxed trip, hopefully. Fingers crossed, touch wood. And hopefully I don't get stuck. Yeah, I mean, one of many things about this game is that you've got to be patient, you've got to take your time. And I think that's the key point of it all, really. It's just taking your time, planning your routes ahead. You know, the obvious things, but sometimes, you know, these maps don't give you a clear path, so it can help just to, you know, get a scout vehicle up and check the path ahead just to make sure that it's clear, or you can fit your trailer and truck. I mean, it does seem like a lot of hassle, but trust me, when you're tipping your trailer or you're getting your trailer stuck, that's the last thing you want. So it just pays, just, you know, just to look a bit further ahead. But yeah, hey, you can get some serious, you can be seriously stuck in places like this. Yeah, it makes you wonder how they do it in the real world, you know. But no, I think overall, Wisconsin, it's quite a decent map. I mean, I'm looking forward to looking ahead at the new maps. Obviously, when they get them sorted out, I'll be covering the videos, startup guide, that thing that you need, you know. The right truck. Yeah, it should be good. If you guys are ever interested in a live stream, I'm more than happy to do that. We can help each other out. See, this is the problem. The more you go through the same part of the terrain, it just gets worse, harder and harder as you complete the same trip. Which I guess I appreciate the challenge more than anything, but I mean sometimes it can just be a little bit tedious. So having the right truck, you know, whether you use modded vehicles or stock vehicles, it makes really no difference. Having the right tool for the job definitely helps the situation. But no, in regards to trucks, it's not so much the truck. It depends on what the job entails, really. I mean, for example, if you was to be doing logging, I would advise using a vehicle that's got diff lock. If it's permanently on, even better, really. Obviously, four-wheel drive is not overly important, especially with the heavier rigs. But if you have that option too, you'd be laughing, really. But when you look over the wheel selections, it does actually give you a stat which tells you how good the tyres are in certain environments, which is a nice little detail to look out for. It's easy looking at tread pattern and stuff, but you know, you can't really go off of that too much on this game. Be a bit of a tight squeeze. But yeah, as starting out for a beginner, a little bit of advice I can give you really. I mean, I would primarily focus on, well, you'll begin to learn that which truck works well, what works best for the environment that you're in. And the game does a very good way of setting those trucks up for you, especially getting the upgraded parts. The upgraded parts are basically going to save your skin at the end of the day. Even though they can be tedious, go around collecting them, they are, you know, it'll definitely be worth it come the end, I can assure you that. But overall, it's just about having fun and getting stuck in. Now I have to think about this, because the turning circle is not really there, especially with a trailer like this. So let's have a look. Yeah, I think reversing in is probably going to be the best chance here. See, I try and use the smaller trailers if I can, but sometimes, you know, you just got to risk it and take a bigger trailer. If your map knowledge is good as well, you know what fits and what doesn't. You know, it's yeah, get out of the way. You know, I can assure you, using a gamepad doing that would have been a far easier than using a wheel. Right, that's 6 there. The sad thing is I need 8, so I'm going to have to come back. And I am dropping it off at the power plant, which, you know, conveniently is on the other side of the map. Why wouldn't it be? Let's plot a route. Yeah, a bit of forward planning. I mean, usually I end up placing these dots in the wrong area. That's not on the actual road, and missing the point is really frustrating sometimes, because you can't progress to the next point without hitting that point. But yeah, this video is basically just chill out, do a bit of trucking, do a bit of hauling. Try not to get stuck or tip. I'll be very interested to see what they plan to do with the next game. I mean, they can have a bit of a job on their hands trying to one-up this. You know, I mean, you got to think to yourself, how could it get better visually anyway? I mean, all the stuff that, you know, content-wise, I've got no complaints so far. Some of the maps are a bit tedious, and they really do kick your ass, but it depends on what you want from the game, really. Personally, I just like taking my time, you know, doing the small loads, big loads especially. You know, much more enjoyable, I find. Bigger the haul, the better. But yeah, if you're new here and you like the content that you're seeing, be afraid to drop a cheeky like, leave a comment, let me know what you think, let me know what you want to see. Be massively appreciated. So it may not be the fastest truck, but it definitely pulls like a train. It gets the job done, and that's what I like about it more than anything, if I'm honest. You know, you'll find that speed is, well, as they say in the real world, you know, speed is a killer. On this, the faster you go, the more prone you are to messing things up, especially tipping. The more stable the truck, you know, if you can get some dualies on or something, you know, because the bigger the wheel is not always the better option, especially if you're, you know, logging. The higher up you are, if you're not firmly planted, you're going to tip. You know, some of these trucks in this game, they may be good for off-roading, but once they've got a heavy load on them, the characteristics of the truck change. You know, the lower you are to the ground, the more planted you are. And we've all been there before. You know, you get close to your destination and hit one dodgy rock and it tips your truck, and that's it, you know. One controller down, one window broken, or a new TV. Yeah, I suppose it's a good excuse. But I really like it as well when the mud gets stuck to the wheels. I think that's a really nice touch. Would be nice if some of the stock trucks incorporated a little bit more when it came to the aesthetics. Yeah, the cosmetic sides. Maybe a few more paint jobs. I know you can get mods for the vanilla trucks and stuff, but what about smoke? Be nice to change smoke options and that. Not colours, but, you know, give you a max smoke option or something. You know, proper dirty diesel. As if travelling in this game wasn't hard enough, you know. Take your vision away with plumes of smoke. That's the way to do it. This crossing seems to be the one thing that really gets you. The more you go over it, the worse it gets. As in for the channel, tomorrow evening I should be doing a Farming Sim 22 stream. So if you're interested in that or interested in joining in, let me know and we can work it out. We've already got a few players that are willing to join, so if you want to get involved with that, you are more than welcome. But for content for Snowrunner, my main objective at the moment, soon I'll be uploading an in-depth tips and tricks guide, what the best trucks to use. The AZOV is a solid all-round truck. You can't go wrong. In fact, I think it's probably one of the best trucks in the games, in my opinion. That thing will do the job. It'll get, you're not going to have to worry about anything in that truck. And obviously the modded versions as well is even better, because you can get, bigger fuel tanks and repair parts, and if that's something that you are obviously interested in using. I mean, personally, modded trucks, it depends on the state of the map. Like this map, for example, I preferred the first 3 ones so much that now I just see these as I don't know, sometimes they can be just a little bit of a chore. Stop for some fuel. Where's Eugene when you need him, huh? There we go. Bit of motion lotion. Oh, price has gone down on that one. Yeah. But as for truck add-ons, I think a little bit of a revise on that wouldn't go amiss. I mean, it would be nice to see some more vanilla add-ons, especially for medium logs, short logs, that kind of stuff. Just something to make it a little bit easier, because I know that these add-ons do exist in the real world. So it'd be really nice to see them incorporate a little bit more into this, especially making it, because it's close to a sim, trucking sim, but in actual fact it doesn't really favour people that use sim rigs, especially if you've got a shifter. I mean, you can't use a shifter on this. Well, I guess you can, but you've got to remap the buttons for it. But even then, it's not the way that you would want it to work, if that makes any sense. Being able to shift up and down gear, I think would be really, really cool for something like this. A trucking simulator, essentially. Right, so I need 2 cargo containers, so I think that is exactly what I'm going to do. I can pick them up from there. It's nice as well because I've just realised there's 2 fuel there, so I'm not going to have to make that long trip again just to get 2 lots of fuel. This should be a fairly nice route. God, Absolutely love that. Oh, I could do it all day. But yeah, anybody that's interested in buying a wheel, more specifically the G29, I've got nothing bad to say about it. It's quite a solid wheel to use. Force feedback is pretty decent. Obviously, if you can get yourself a rig, it makes it a whole lot nicer. I mean, I think I started out with using my my G29 on a old coffee table, and I can assure you I am not going back. I know that if Jaffa's watching this video, he'll be heartbroken, not using the coffee table anymore. Madman for coffee. Madman for coffee. Yeah, so like what we would in the real world, just if you ever get stuck in a situation like this, sometimes shaking your wheels left to right, can help you get unstuck, and your throttle control as well. I mean, I know it may sound silly, but especially to a controller user, but sometimes feathering the throttle can help you out. It gives you a little, a little bit of extra grip for some reason, a little bit of a boost. Can get you out of some pretty tricky situations. But do note that obviously all these stones here, you can get like a plow mod to obviously clear the roads, but just be warned that they do come back. There isn't anything you can do about that, unfortunately, because it would be nice to be able to clear all the roads out first, but fortunately that's not possible. Oh, this is going to be a tight one. There we go. So, cargo containers. Nicely done. Some of these trucks on this game sound absolutely incredible, especially some of the modded ones. I could stop and start them all day long. Well, it's probably not good for the truck, but you got to do it. You got to do it, like. Oh. Drop it into low. See, now in a situation like this, I would be tempted to go low again, but the chances of it is that I'm more than likely to get stuck doing that. I think once you get your momentum going, just don't stop. If you're moving, whether you're moving fast or slow, you're moving at the end of the day. Tell you what, if you could look into it, most of the military trucks, they may not be, you know, aesthetically pleasing, but they do get the job done. There's a few modded military trucks actually, which give you an insane off-road entire compound, which gives you like 9.5 on mud and off-road and stuff. It's just a powerhouse of a tire, really. And it, you know, because they're military vehicles, they're not the fastest, but they're so, you know, robust and durable that, you know, they'll see you through whatever you need to get done, that's for sure. Right, that is that done. Let's have a look. So, cement, concrete slab, consumables 4, but I only need 2. And I can get my metal beams from there. So I think I'm going to change out my truck. Although saying that, how many slots this holds? 6. So that's 4. Oh, okay, so I guess I could keep this truck. And is there metal beams there? No, so if I can get my fuel and my consumables, I think that would work out quite well. Because that would be 4 slots, so. Okay. Kill 2 birds with 1 stone scenario. Like a glove. So looks like a shortcut. I wonder. That's not too bad. Quite surprised that tree's held up, to be honest, because what I found on this map is every tree that I seem to winch to just pulls it out of the ground. Which, if you're in a bit of a sticky situation, that's the last thing you want. You watch, by the end of the week I'll have that down to a T. He says, as he casually takes out every fence in Margaret's park car. But yeah, guys, I will try and keep you up to date with what's going on in terms of the mod browser. Should make a few videos on the new map at some point this week. Kind of like a beginning to end series on that map. Because I know they incorporated the racing side of things, which I'm not really sure how I feel about that. I mean, I much prefer, you know, the basics, and if people want to do races and stuff, then obviously that's where you get your modded scenarios and stuff. But for me, I feel that it could have been a little bit better, because I'm not too sure. Well, I certainly don't anyway. But when I saw it was announced that, you know, they were including races and stuff, I don't know, it didn't really reside in me that well. You know, we've got games like Forza and, you know, Gran Turismo and ACC and all that sort of stuff if we want to race. Yeah, I think the direction which is being taken is probably focusing more towards the new player, people that don't really want to take trucking to the extreme. You know, people that well, I guess it's probably a younger audience trying to get the player base in, and you know, I respect them for doing that. I mean, you know, they've got to keep it fresh, they've got to keep it updated. I just feel that there's a few things which could be addressed and improved upon before obviously changing the formula of the game, how it plays out. I don't know. Leave your thoughts down below, guys. Let me know what you think about it. Because I mean, as much as I like a good racing game, I don't play this game to race. You know, I mean, rock crawling and stuff, it's pretty cool. But even then, there's no real option for base trucks. It's all modded side of things, you know. I just wish that they would incorporate a little bit more in regards to the stock side of stuff, because you can have a really good time with the stock vehicles. It teaches you so much, and as much as there is an urge to you know, use a modded vehicle off the bat, it's really good. It teaches you essentially how to play the game, you know. And by using the stock trucks, if for instance the mod browser goes down, which happens more times than, you know, I care to count, you know, it's good to have a few decent trucks in the bag, so to speak. You got the upgrade parts for, you know, that when the mod browser doesn't work, you've got that to fall back on. But starting off with mods straight out of the gate, it can give you kind of like a false idea, and you'll look at a piece of terrain and think, oh, I can get through it, because you did with your modded vehicle, and then when you approach it, you suddenly realize that no, that's really not the case. You know, and you kind of get into a habit of not really caring about the big rocks and the mud, and, you know, just little things like that, the things that actually make the game. It's what people have got to understand, that it's designed this way to obviously, you know, keep you at it for a long period of time. You know, if we could just drive over every rock and through every ditch or riverbed without any trouble, then, you know, you'll get the complaints of it's too easy. So, but then at least there's an option, and you've got to respect them for that. It is a nice touch. Here's two I made earlier. It's another good tip as well, if you've got some extra fuel spare for your generators and stuff, just stock up on what you think you might need, especially metal beams. But as you see, what I've done there is I put a generator on the point and then put my fuel truck next to it. So instead of having to constantly tow new generators back and forth each time, I can just refuel on the fly. Just saves a lot of hassle. In instances like this, if you're going downhill, especially with a flimsy trailer, I would advise using your handbrake, not the actual brake itself. I've said it in previous videos, you know, last thing you want is to be jackknifing and sending your cargo to orbit or yourself. But if you're not too sure, there's a big community for this game. You may not get the answer you're looking for, but if you ever struggle to find anything, whether it be an upgrade part or, you know, a truck or whatever like that, and you just want to focus on one particular truck and finding the upgrades for that certain truck, there is a thing you can use on Google called Map Runner, and Map Runner basically gives you all of the maps, and it shows you where every item is, every location for every factory, and yeah, it can save you a hell of a lot of time, especially if you don't know where certain things are crafted with these new maps. It definitely helps you out in the long run. I mean, I know that some people, they like to get these new maps and they want to find the vehicle straight away, and that's perfectly understandable. but using something like Map Runner will help you do that without having to obviously scan needlessly for however long on Google or YouTube to try and find a tutorial video on where something is, or so yeah, there's just a little bit of advice there. So you don't have to take it if you don't want to. But yeah, I can't stress it enough. Especially if you're into your sim games, getting yourself a wheel and a sim rig, it definitely makes the experience more enjoyable. If you can get something with force feedback too, I mean, you won't put the game down. I mean, for me, I find that I've got more control over the vehicle through the wheel than I do the controller. The only downside is obviously the camera and winching, because when you're tipping you don't really have much time, and adjusting angles on the camera can be a bit of a pain, but it's not impossible. Here we are. Well guys, I think I'm going to wrap it up there. Thank you so much to the new subscribers. If you've enjoyed the video, then please leave a like. It would be massively appreciated. And if you're new here, don't forget to subscribe if you like seeing this content. There's plenty more to come. There will be a few live streams and stuff along the way too. But if there's anything that you guys want to see, don't be afraid to let me know in the comments section below. I'll be more than happy to help you out wherever I can. But yeah, thank you guys. Take it easy. Have a good one, and I'll see you in the next one. Happy trucking.